Hi, my name's Tristan. Welcome back to my random cooking videos. Today we're going to do stuffed mushroom and stuffed zucchini. It's really simple, really quick, and really delicious. Not overly healthy, just something that I like making. Basically you need mushroom, bacon, cherry tomatoes, zucchini, mozzarella cheese, and a pasta sauce. I like a roast vegetable stir-through one just because it's delicious. You're going to get a baking tray, like an oven tray, and cover it with tin foil. It makes life easier when you're cleaning it all up. We're also going to add in a little bit of capsicum just for the fun of it. You don't have to, but I am going to today. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start by preparing the mushrooms. Take the mushrooms, and basically we're just going to hollow them out a little bit. So we're just going to get rid of the stem in the center, and we are actually going to use that for the stuffing. So pop the stem out, put it to the side, and just put it on your tray. Same thing, so as you can see, I'm putting the knife in and just cutting around until it snaps off. Quite simple. If there's any other little extra bits, just trim them out and place it on your tray. You want to try and get ones that are either like this one, quite flat, or that have a bit of a dome around them. The bigger the surface area, obviously the more you can stuff them. And pop it out like that. And that's the mushrooms ready to receive their stuffing. Put them aside. Now we'll take our zucchini. It's pretty simple. We turn it into a canoe. So slice along, and we take out this center bit. And it doesn't have to be a work of art. You just have to get these guts out. I'm using a teaspoon. And we find where we want it to end, somewhere around here. And we cut in again. We just make sure that those cuts join. And we should be able to just break this bit off. And now we just hollow it out. Now that we've hollowed it out, let's just shave out the last little bit there. We've got ourselves a zucchini canoe. And we put that over there. Okay, now we're going to make up what goes into the stuffing. So we're going to take this pulp that we've pulled out of the center of the zucchini, and we're just going to chop that up. Make sure it's not too lumpy. You want this to be diced fine. It doesn't have to be. Again, it's not a work of art. We're just trying to chop it up so that it'll mix nice. I tend not to use too much with the skin if I can avoid it. Now this one's got a good amount of meat from the inside, so I don't think we'll need it. So we chop all of this up. Right, so now we've got that. Put that slightly to the side. We take the stalks of the mushrooms and we slice them up similarly. So as we can see, we've chopping that so that they are nice and small pieces. This is all going to get mixed together with the bacon and some mozzarella cheese in the bowl and the sauce, and that's what's going to be the stuffing. So this is just adding a little bit of body, and it's just sort of mixing the flavour, the zucchini with the mushroom with the zucchini. So put these parts aside, don't throw them out, they're still perfectly edible. They can be used in part of a pasta sauce or something along those lines. So now we put these in here. a few escapees, that's alright. So that's the okay. So now we add some of the stir-through sauce. We mix this in. Now I'm using a small bowl. You can obviously use a larger one, it would be a little bit easier. This is what I had to hand. And this is always a good meal to make if you're just looking for an interesting side. It's very tasty. Obviously it has bacon and mozzarella. Everything with bacon and mozzarella is delicious. But it's fairly quick, it's fairly simple. It takes, in my crappy oven, it's about 20-25 minutes with 220-ish. So it's not particularly long, and obviously the prep time is not too long either. Now we add a little bit of mozzarella cheese. Just open the packet there. So we're not trying to add tons of cheese to the mix because we'll be sprinkling it over the top. So a handful like that is plenty. And that will mix in, and it just adds a little bit of extra adhesion down below that surface layer. So it'll help this mixture all sort of stick once it's baked in the oven. So now that's mixed up. Let's bring the tray back in. Okay, now let's put some of this mixture in here. Okay, so we've put the filling in. I'll just add a little bit more to this one because it looks a little bit light. Put the rest of that aside. Now, we haven't done the tomato or the capsicum just yet, and the reason for that is quite simple. We're going to use these to top the mushrooms. So I'll take a little slice of this guy. Don't need too much. And we'll take a few of these and we'll slice them up. Now this is mostly an aesthetic thing. There's a little bit of flavour in there, but it's mostly because I like to refer to these as mushroom pizzas. And so these make it look a little bit more like a pizza, and it's kind of adorable. So I have made these in the past, and that's what people have referred to them as, and I kind of liked it. So we slice them up. Okay, now we bring these back and we just place them on as you would on a pizza, just like they're tomato slices or pepperoni. And we cover the tops a little bit. There we go. Got them on there. And put a bit of capsicum. So that adds a little bit of extra flavour, a little bit of a boost. I'll put some on this one as well, so I've got some extra. But it's not essential. If you're not a capsicum fan, definitely doesn't have to be added. The tomatoes just look adorable as far as I'm concerned. Now we cover this whole lot with mozzarella. Doesn't have to be a big heavy covering, and it's going to go everywhere, so don't worry too much. It's again why we use the tin foil. If it burns onto that, that's alright. So we cover these up so there's a decent cover of cheese, and it's partially flavour, partially an adhesive. And we stick that in the oven, as I said, about 200, 220, depending on how good your oven is. for about 20 to 25 minutes. Basically, once the cheese is all melted and golden brown and you start to see a bit of liquid coming out of the mushrooms, that's when it's ready to go. So yeah, I'll show you the finished product and hopefully you enjoy it.